Hello everyone, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. We are back, we are in action, and we are on the latest update. My understanding is that it adds a few things. The latest currently is 0.64, I believe. For example, we have Observable. This is actually, you wouldn't really see it in gameplay, like our day-to-day, but for like running a server, or even I guess checking your own world, very, very useful. You'll have to bind it to a key. The intro, I'll just quickly show off this thing, because it genuinely is pretty cool. And I usually show it off at some point. Category, observable, this one here. So you just set that to a keybind. When you open that up, I think you have to be op to use it. You can toggle on the overlay. You can even do a profiler that'll sort of give you a helpful tip. You can scroll while hovering over this to change the duration. The longer the duration, the more accurate the results are going to be. And essentially, it's a lag checker, which sounds a bit crazy, but we can run it. And it will show you the server impact that pretty much every block has on the server, at least at the time that you're running this. That's my understanding of it. I didn't make the mod. I'm not I'm not an expert by any means, but we do use it. And typically, if you see something in red, it's something worth looking at. You can also check up, information about what's happening in terms of like a bigger grand scheme of things. So the overlay will show you blocks around you. For example, these guys up here, they're not too crazy, but if I made a couple hundred of these that I plan to, that starts adding up. So 200, it's a pretty low number for like a one machine, but for a big machine, it's a problem. And sometimes you'll even find machines that, get into the thousands. And sometimes they can be your troublemakers if you're looking for a specific, like if suddenly there's a lot of lag, you can sort of hunt that down using these tricks. So I thought I'd mention that because it's a small little thing that you might not notice is in the pack, but it is there and it helps. It honestly does. Honestly does? Honestly, yeah, that's a sentence. The other thing is they mentioned the ATM star. Ooh. They did indeed. So that's part of all the tweaks. Ooh, and there's no recipe for it just yet. Okay, I believe they said they were making progress on it. So I think they've added some stuff that's going to lead towards it. In fact, did the bees already exist? All these, all the Modium bees and stuff? We've got a Patrick bee. All obviously the Vibranium Unobtainium bees. Oh, and they're actually gettable. Okay, yeah, okay. So we could get an All the Modium bee, for example, with an Ancient bee and a Withered bee. And you just breed them together, I guess. Okay, all right. There are options, I guess. They're on the table, and slowly, I guess, we're getting towards that that ATM star. I imagine once that's up, there'll be a section in here for that. So what did we do last episode? Last episode, we set up this area here. So we upgraded, or I guess modified, our Airs Nouveau section to attempt to automate two things. The one thing we successfully automated, or at least I believe we did, is when that sun sets, it will magically rise again. We have it set up so that what it should do, once again, if it's perfect, is it will activate the ritual to turn it from nighttime to daytime. And all without me doing anything, which is awesome. And hopefully without wasting too many resources. We tried to add some interesting steps here. This whole little like redstone circuit ideally is to stop it from activating multiple at once. Because it was like bam, 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 bam. So we added a bit of like a delay using the pulse extender. That's the real magic happening there. Now, I still need to add something to set the weather to clear. I don't know if I want to do that this episode. I mean, you guys will know based on the title, I guess. But I kind of want to do something else. The problem is I didn't really think that far ahead. I sort of just wanted to jump into it and see where the road took me. Now, I mean, power, right? We need to solve our power problem. So arguably, that's what we do. I know we were going to automate ice being crafted. And I think we were going to try to pull that off with these, our chemistry utensils, because you can do some sneaky stuff with it, and we might do that. I'll have to have another look at it, because once again, there's a new update. There might be new ways to get stuff. It's constantly changing, so it is worth having a quick little look around. For example, blue skies. Oh yeah, no. Someone mentioned earlier as well. Blue skies had like a bunch of ice in it and whatnot. But the problem is I have to find like the blue skies dude, But yeah, if I had this oven, I can smelt, it looked like water buckets into ice, right? we can automate that. I assume, actually, yeah, if it's only got one output, you might not get the bucket back, or the bucket might just stay in the spot. But I imagine it's automatable to some degree. We even have an iron generator, so we could, like, it's doable, you know what I mean? Like, it's on the table. It's possible. It's possible. I'll just have to get my hands on this stuff, which would need this guy, which would need that. And you get that from, yeah. Okay. All right, well, I'll be back. I'll have a quick look around. You know what I think we're going to do? I think I will do pneumatic craft, but not this recipe here. I think I'll go for the heat frame cooling. The way that should work is if we cool the frame down, we should be able to turn water into ice. I know it's a crazy concept, but I think we can do that, and I think we don't have to do much to get there. We're going to need compressed iron, so that's going to be iron, believe it or not. Do we have... Where's that guy? You know the one I'm talking about. The guy that does this stuff. I think he's over here. Oh, also, my ritual went off, and it's daytime. I love that thing. Oh yeah, we were smart about it. We actually made a thing to put it all in. Cool. And we've got a trash can, so I can put the poppies away. I mean, if we need more poppies, we can get more poppies, you know? Like, that's not going to be the end of the world. Okay. So what I will do is, with that iron, and a little bit extra probably, I'm going to make a stack of iron and probably only use half of it. We're going to get some TNT as well. Here we go. And, I don't know, a lever or something. And we want to blow this up. We're primitive. We don't have an actual pressure chamber. So we're just going to have to compress the stuff the good old-fashioned way. Now, oh, you know what? Because you might remember my SSD broke, so I'm like on a completely fresh install. I don't actually have the physics mod installed. Oh, it's actually so tempting because explosions with that thing looks awesome. The blocks fly everywhere like a movie. I can't help myself. I'll be back. I'm telling you, it's worth it. All right. I've done it. Now, bear with me. Okay, it's gonna be rough for a few seconds as I set this up, but it's worth it. Okay, so just ignore it. I won't be playing like this for the rest of the pack, so don't worry. But what we can do is we can have our TNT here. I'll toggle off my magnet. There we go. We're gonna drop all of our iron there. Place it in this. You can do ingots as well. It's just, I don't know, easier with blocks, I guess. Why not? And then, with the beauty of physics mod, we should get something that looks pretty cool here. What? Oh, how disappointing. It's because my land's claimed. Hold on. I can't leave you guys with that. That was just... Oh my god, what a... That was horrible. Put that in a compilation of the least satisfying things you've ever seen. My god. We got it right here. Okay. Jeez. That, I mean, who let that happen? My god. Okay, let's go sort that out. Okay, this should look better. I realized the lever didn't even break. Alright, take two. Pretend that it's for a reason. You ready? Oh, look at that. Endless fun. Fun for the whole family. Oh, look at that. What a blast. Well, that was worth it. Alright, well, anyhow, we've got blocks of compressed iron. Let's get back to business. I have not configured the physics mod at all, so the rest of this episode, whew, buckle in. So we're going to be experiencing some stuff. But yeah, we've got compressed iron. So you might recall we put in half a stack. We lost some of that. There's a certain percentage, and you'll lose that pretty much regardless. The only way that you don't lose that, as far as I'm aware, is if you set up a pressure chamber and then you start getting one-to-one conversions. But that's fine for us. So I'm going to convert this stuff down, pretty much all of it, into... What am I hearing? Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know what, guys? I think I know what I was hearing. I was hearing... Well, I don't even think I was hearing that, to be honest. I think I was just hearing, like, the grass. I'll be back. But that was pretty fun. I mean, you have to admit it, right? That looked pretty fun. I kind of want to watch it again. It's... Come on. Okay, well, you know what? I can probably... Oh. Wrong mod pack. Alright, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything's fine. I'll be back. Okay, anyhow, let's get back to business. So heat frame easily made, a furnace and some compressed iron. We obviously didn't need as much as we made, and we probably won't, but regardless, it's fine. Now, this guy by himself should get the job done. So what we can actually do is we can grab a chest, just any old chest. Can I craft a few of you? I can. Beautiful. Obviously, we just need one, but that's fine. And so we can place this realistically wherever we want. But, you know, we probably want to put it somewhere that we can build something around. So here looks good. Once again, ignore the mess. Now, the heat frame, you actually place it on an item, right? So we've placed it on this chest, and it will now interact with this chest. For example, if I heat this up, we can smelt things within this inventory. As seen, I guess, here. You can turn stuff into obsidian or into plastic, sure. And if we cool it down, we'll get the opposite effect. How do we do that? Well, from memory, there's probably a few ways, but the way that I know how to do it, or at least I know it involves it, is with a heatsink. This guy here. Here we go. So it's going to cost us some bars and ingots and whatnot. Easy stuff. And then we also need something to heat it up. The way that this guy works, I believe, is that it will disperse heat into the air. And so I think... Actually, you know what? I don't know if it is this thing. I think I need that heatsink, but I think I also need a vortex tube, which is an interesting thing to say. Yeah, this splits it into hot and cold. One side gets hot, the other side gets cold. And so I think if I cool down the hot side... Wait. So for best efficiency, you should vent the cold side with a heatsink when you want to utilize the heat, and vice versa when you want the cold. So yeah. Now, this guy's going to cost us some pressure tubes. We have some, whether that's from looting or from, I don't know, a village that has them in it. I'm not sure. But to make these guys, it is just compressed iron and glass, so it's not a problem to make regardless. And we'll grab one of these guys. Now, this guy in the middle, he'll need pressure. So what we'll do is we'll search pressure. And I think it will offer us up some machines. Obviously, there's a few there. But what we're looking for is not on there. We want, I guess, a generator. The problem is there's a billion generators. I also... What is it even called? Oh, yeah, not just... sorry. My brain no work. That's all I can spit out. What we want is to pressurize air, right? So we call that an air compressor. So there's a few different things here. There's a flux compressor. This guy will use power to compress air. So that's pretty good, but obviously you need to put some effort in to get that guy. What we want is just a basic one, which is this guy here, I believe, an air compressor. So he'll need a tube, a furnace, and then some reinforced bricks. This stuff is going to cost reinforced stone, which is going to be compressed iron and stone. So I don't know how much we need. It's not that much, but that's fine. Go ahead and turn that into reinforced bricks. And we can make ourselves an air compressor. Cool. Nice. Now we may also need some tubes to sort of hook these guys up. And we will also need some coal to power this guy. And so we should have everything that we want now. So this guy here, what's he going to get? He's going to get this guy facing this way. So as you can see, heat on this side, cold on that side. And he's at room temperature, right? Or I guess outdoor temperature, 26 degrees Celsius. For those of you playing along at home in America. Anyhow, we're going to chuck a heatsink on that side. And there we go. All that's left is to provide actual pressure to this guy. Now, if I place a tube here, as you can see, it connects on. It actually goes through the block and into it. The visuals that Pneumaticraft have are phenomenal. If you don't care about the mod at all, from a gameplay perspective, and in terms of aesthetics, I mean, the thing is beautiful. It looks so nice. One problem this mod does have is the sounds are excruciating when you mess up. We will chuck down our air compressor, as you can see. Attaches on the back of that. And essentially, we're just chucking coal. Now, you do have to be risky. As you can see when you open this guy up, you do have to be risky. You do have to be careful. I don't like how my instinct was to say risky there. As you can see, there's a red section, right? If we start getting in that range, this machine, kaboom. Another thing to note is up here. This air compressor can go up to 5 bar. So that's like the unit of pressure. So it can go up to 5 units. Then it will go kaboom. This pipe, also 5. This vortex tube can go up to 20. So if you upgrade your pipes and stuff, this guy can handle it. So before we start that up, I do want to sort of make it a little bit safe. So what we'll want to do is search safe. Yeah. And we want this guy here, a safety tube module, if we can get away with it. He'll need levers and a tube, as well as a pressure gauge, which is going to be a compressed iron and some copper. So pretty simple stuff. Put that all together, and all should be good. So this guy, I believe, goes on the pipe, like that. And what he'll do is, if this guy's making too much pressure, he's like compressing so much air and it's getting a bit crazy, this guy will just open the little valve and just send the pressure out. It's got like the perfect amount of weight, I guess, on it, so that when the pressure gets to a certain level, it just lets it out. So now we can chuck all this stuff in. Now you could also probably, I say probably easily, you could probably get away with automating this guy again using integrated dynamics to sort of make it safer. You know what I mean? Like read the pressure and turn him off when he's too hot, sort of thing. There's probably a way to get it to emit redstone when this guy gets triggered or something. There's things you can do, I'm sure. What we care about, though, is looking at this guy. The east temperature, which is the right side here, is at 17 degrees and dropping, and the left side is 29 and rising. And as you can see over here, this guy is actually getting the temperature difference applied to him, and so is this guy. He's heating up, letting out some air. That's it. So obviously, we're waiting for this guy to get to below 0 degrees Celsius, because once again, for those of you playing along at America, 0 degrees Celsius is freezing point for water, and 100 degrees Celsius is boiling point for water. So water into solid, water into gas. Obviously, the range from 0 to 100 is the liquid. welcome to Science with Dewey. Welcome. Next week, quantum science. Buckle. I don't know. Anyhow, this guy just reached the negative. So what we can do is, this is where it's going to get a little bit more tricky in terms of automating, I guess. But we're going to grab some buckets and we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to have to obviously automate all of this. We probably had water closer, but I sadly do not remember where that is. That's fine. We'll pretend it's fine. I've got a mob masher there with like looting in it, and I don't have one over there. That's fine. Now, the benefit of this system is that I can place them in here. You know what I mean? Now, each time they freeze, they'll use up that temperature, because obviously we're turning that frozen temperature, that cold temperature, into an item. We're converting that temperature. And welcome back to class, everyone. What did we learn last week, guys? Conservation of energy, okay? The energy is going into turning the water from ice. It has to come from somewhere. It comes from the temperature. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the temperature coming from? I don't know, the coal somehow. So yeah, cool. So this it works, as you can see. All we need to do, little bingo bango, turn the water or the buckets into water buckets, and we're good. I think that's actually not too bad. I think we can pull that off. So I want to sink, and I'll tell you what, I'd love for it to be automated. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, I can't automate the water buckets just yet. What do I want to have? You know what? We could do 2 birds, 1 stone. I was thinking about just automating water for that system, like enclosed. But we could attach that system to our refined storage network, and then we reap the benefits of the water being automated. You know what I mean? Like we get the best of both worlds. I think we'll do that. So we've got the sink there. Terracotta, that's obviously an easy one. That's some clay smelted. Clay we've got automated now, so this is also an easy recipe. Thank you. Water bucket. I could do... I don't know if you guys saw that. I could do create. And then we get something cool to look at. Yes! You guys are in trouble. Alright, that's going to go there. These are crafting recipes, so they can plop in there. I'm going to go ahead and make a spout. Thank you very much. That's going to be dried kelp and copper casing. That's a copper ingot on a stripped log, I believe. Do I want to use... I could use actual create pipes. The problem is... I love the visuals of them, but then you have to put the effort in to actually get them to go. You know what I mean? And like, it's only a few extra steps, but it's like, bleh, you know? But you also get the benefits of looking at it. We'll just grab fluid pipes. I mean, they're just so much easier. We don't need them to do too fast, but a little bit of speed never hurt nobody. That's not advice. Don't do drugs. Well, what else do we need? We need the sink that we just automated, or half automated. We don't have a bucket of water. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that checks out. Yep, done the numbers on that one. I think we made a sink at some point. I'm just gonna obviously just make a new one, since we're sort of beyond that at this point. I was gonna see, where is it? I don't remember where it was, but it's somewhere. It might be under. Oh, it might be with our little steam generator. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's open neither of those up. Boom, sink. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Wait for the stuff to smell in the background, and voila, beautiful. Okay. So, if I'm gonna automate water buckets within my system, I don't need it over here. Which means I could do it somewhere else. Like, we've got some automation here. You know what? I may actually dump it over here because this is sort of like our new automation zone. We've got like a bunch of little modules happening over here. I kind of like it. Now, it will be tricky. I'm also... I might just get another little wireless transmitter to put over there. Wireless transmitter. Can I get one of those? We're going to go for the infinite range at some point. We've got the card. I just need the power, but we've sort of put that on hold for a second so that we can actually get some other stuff done. But we are getting there, okay? I haven't forgotten. I'm just doing some temporary fixes so that I can still enjoy the benefits without the full scope, I guess. All right, so... oh, yeah, I already decided how we're going to automate it. I completely forgot already. So you're going to go there. You're going to go there. You're going to go not there. That's still too low. I forgot I did that. I forgot we had the physics. I mean, come on. Like, doesn't that just brighten your day? I mean, obviously, if you go on mining or something, that is disastrous. But once... I'm just... Look, I'm a big proponent of it. You can customize it. The problem is, it's like, you have to go one by one, I think. But, like, I think you can, like, you know, turn it off with some of them or something. So, like, you know, certain blocks would be fun. All right, anyhow. Everything's fine. We just need a depot. Which is annoying, to say the least. Stripped log and andesite alloy. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you. And we have a depot. Cool. Oh, it's... Alright, so this should work. If I make this guy go like that, this guy should fill up with water. We've even got a little pipe upgrade for him, so he can do 100 millibuckets a tick. And he should then put that into a bucket. So, if I go ahead and grab a crafter, like so, I should be able to slap this guy on here. Bingo, bango. Your mum's a mango, as they say. I don't know if they say that where you guys are from. I don't know if they even say it where I'm from, but someone's saying it somewhere. And we're reaping the rewards. Cables. I will need an importer, obviously, so we'll go ahead and grab one of those. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This is pretty good. I'm happy. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I definitely would benefit from another pattern terminal. If I search pattern grid, yeah, I have to just make a normal one. I don't think there's a wireless one. We can do it. Like, we can afford it, I think. I might just do that, and just so we have one over here. Because it is sort of like... We do crafting at the base, like we make patterns there, but we also make patterns over in this little area, so... I think we'd benefit from it. What's happening there? You guys seeing my mouse move? Like, consistently when I'm pasting this stuff in? What? Why is it going up here? What's up here? Alt tab. What is up there? I don't... Huh? Is it because I clicked the grid? Is that why it, like, kept wanting to send me back up? I don't know. Okay, pattern grid. Cool. So this guy can go... honestly, he can probably go right here. I'll place that guy there. That's a nice little connector. Obviously, we want patterns for this guy. That works. Cool. So, we require water bucket recipe. And we're going to go for this one right here. We're not going to include the water. We've got that sorted separately. Although that is an option. No. Because I would have to have that crafter somehow distribute the item there and the liquid there. And although there's ways to do it, I don't think it's worth it. No. I was thinking, like, what if I entangle that guy there? I don't think that works. Does it? No. You know, I want to try that. We're gonna try that just for the sake of science. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Boom. So that guy's empty. Okay. We're gonna edit this recipe to be exactly what this is. It's gonna use a bucket of water and a bucket, or a bucket worth of water, I should say. We are also going to get an external storage. Grab one of these guys. Because, once again, if we can have water within our system, then that's a pretty good benefit as well. God. Listen, this stuff will be fixed next episode. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Listen, I get one of these every so often, okay? Okay, guys? Please. Please. Alright, so we're going to break this. And we're going to place the external storage that I didn't grab. Oh, I'm out of energy. Because it's... Okay. Can I bobble this? Oh. Yeah, that works. Is that still getting power? Yeah, cool. Okay, sweet. Sweet. External storage. So this guy here, you can chuck him on, change him to fluids, and now we're good. Now we also want to tell him, hey, only extract. I don't want you trying to put anything else in here because guess what? It's a sink. Okay, cool. So then you go there. You receive this pattern. I then grab an entangled block. That comes out of nowhere. No one saw that one coming. That guy goes there. Entangled binder. Boom. Boom. Now, I'm not sure how the entangled binder works in terms of blocks facing a certain direction. Because obviously the one inside sort of... Well, I don't know which way it's facing. The way I've placed it and done everything, it might be taking into account the direction the real one's facing. So this one's facing south. So maybe that one's facing south. I don't actually know if this will work. But if this does work, it's actually really cool. Let's see. Okay. No. No, it didn't. Okay. What if... Hold on. Hold on. What if I place it like that? You know what I mean? Like, give it the proper direction? No? Okay. Interesting. What if I swap them? You know what I mean? What if that somehow makes a difference? So, we go ahead and place this guy like so. I don't really know how to place this guy up here. You know what? Yeah, we may have even placed him the wrong way. Place this guy up here. Obviously, entangle him. Place him in there. Cool. Break that and that. This guy is connected, I guess. But it's not really... I mean, it's not working. The bucket of water is not on the list. It's not like it's a visual bug not showing it. Okay. You're going to connect the cables like so. I don't think it'll work. The fact that that didn't even work means I don't think this will work. Bucket, start, craft. So he takes the bucket away, but he's unable to place it where we want it. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's an easy way to do this. I know once we get mechanism, there's a thing called an entangler porter. And that guy allows you to move liquids and solids at once. I'm really trying to think, is there a way to pull this one off? I don't think with this there is. Let me know if you guys have any little, like, sneaky tricks to do that. But I'll put this back to how it was. Alright, we remove the water from that. We're going to slap this guy down, hook him up. I think we can leave him as he is, because these guys are pretty smart. But just to be safe, I'll add the water bucket to it so that it knows what to do. We'll go in here. Bucket of water. Let's see if we can actually craft it this time. Boom. Oh, it's set to blacklist. let's set it to whitelist. That probably makes more sense. Let's order another one. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh. I mean, I guess I can place an exporter on this guy. And then we still get the benefit of having water in our system. Meh? Yeah? What do we think? I think it's a good idea. I like my idea. We'll do this. Export. Oh, and look at that. Oh, is it nighttime? Oh, sorry guys. Oh, toodaloo. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's beautiful. That's nice. That's oh, it's actually so nice. Yes. Oh, the fact that like every time I go to take a thumbnail, unless it's raining, it's perfect. Oh, that's going to be so good. Okay. Excellent. All right, so we we want to put water in this guy. We're going to switch to fluids. I think when it's in fluid mode, like, yeah, you can use a bucket. And so this guy should fill up with fluid, but it's on... No, I don't actually know. Oh, it's working. Yeah, cool. It's fine. It's fine that it's slow, and I'll show you why. We're going to grab that detector again. This detector guy, I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever used it before. Maybe once, maybe ever. But this guy, I think I'm going to use him a lot because I think he's pretty good. Like genuinely pretty good. I guess the problem is I would need this to be an exporter rather than an importer. Or rather than a crafter, right? Because the detector, realistically, he's good at doing exactly that. He's good at, when I set up something to work non-stop, he's like, hey, hold up. When I've got a crafting recipe set up, like this, because, you know, sometimes you order something that needs... I think it is better to use the requester. So that's one way of doing it, obviously, with the detectors. And the other way is, if I come in here, I can go in our requester and I can say, hey, water bucket. The problem is, this will keep one water bucket at a time. I would need a second requester to set it like, 100 for all my 100 items. Whereas with the detectors, I get to go one at a time and be like, oh, this. Yeah, okay. It's also going to use a lot of iron. I'll be honest, I haven't really thought about the iron implications in what we're doing here. As well as, we don't even have a normal bucket recipe. Let's go ahead and get that guy. How much iron do we have? Like, I know we've got iron, but like, how much iron do we have? We don't have much, but we do. I didn't even grab the iron down here. Let me do. Let's just have a quick. I still haven't automated this thing, which is pretty ridiculous because, yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, as per usual, I say it every episode. There's a lot to do. I do like this area is pretty fun. We're gonna have to do more Greg Tech at some point because I mean, hey, it's getting the job done, it's doing stuff. Yeah, so we've got 1,000. So what's that? That's like 600 or 700 buckets, right? Is that how that works? 1,800 divided by 3, 600 buckets I could make out of that. So if I set it to keep 100 buckets in the system, that's not too bad, right? That'll be what, just 300 iron? It's expensive now, but then we'll never have to do it again, or like, you know what I mean? But the benefit is we won't have to wait for a bucket to get filled up. That's the thing I'm sort of worried about at the moment. I reckon we make another requester. That block did break. It's just being a silly little block. We don't have glowstone. We do have glowstone. We don't have much glowstone. Okay, does this work? I was gonna say I think this works. This should give us 4. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, we gotta automate this guy as well. Like, with the mineral and whatnot. Plenty to do. Requester. Sweet. These requesters, by the way, you can get upgraded ones of them as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's a few up here. And they're pretty cool. I mean, they're all this stuff's pretty cool. Alright. How are we doing? Dude, we're only 28 minutes in. I feel like we've been so much more successful. I guess we haven't really finished exactly what we're trying to do here. Alright, requester. This guy will be making 100 of whatever it is I'm asking for. And in this case, it is buckets. So he will order buckets 100 times. I'm pressing buttons. So I should be able to put all this stuff away. Keep those for later. Put that away. Cool. So yeah, we've currently got 3. We've got 4 now. And that should just keep running or keep asking for that stuff until we get to 100. Which is pretty cool. And if at any other point, see, I'm wondering if it's better to have like a tank on top. Like if I place, hold on, let's search spout because I'd love to automate some of this stuff. Oh, I can't hold W on it. No, I can't. I can't hold W. I cannot ponder. I just simply cannot ponder. I was wondering if I can get away with putting a tank on top. You know what I mean? Like what that does for the situation here. I guess I can make a barrel. I mean, I guess, and then we can make a tank. Sure. Go in there, tank. I don't think this works, but perhaps it does. No. I think that would just work as a buffer, and then I'd have to pipe into that guy anyway. Which, I mean, I guess we can do that. Let's turn the magnet on. Yeah. 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 Let's do that. So, this and this. Set that guy to extract. Go ahead and chuck that in there. We're going to pick this guy up. Slowly but surely. Cool. Place that there. Place that there. Place that there. Open him up. Fluids, please. And water bucket. Water. Water. Water bucket? What? I can't drag the stuff in? What? Hold on. Hold on. Boom. Water in there. Hold on. I need to return things back to nature. And... oh. Huh? Oh, there we go. No! I wanted to put my... what? This guy's just slow. I don't think he's any faster. Arguably, he's even slower. I didn't see that one coming. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just going to put it back to how it was. Alright, well anyway, that's automating water. Cool. And so over here, we just need that water to make its way in here whenever we want ice. And then on top of that, we've got buckets. And that we want to take out. So I'll tell you what, I will probably just do a wireless network over there. I know it's pretty close to some of our other networks, like over here obviously, and even up there, but I don't know. Who cares? One thing I will say is we are going to horrifically, and I mean horrifically, regret not labeling each and every one of these transmitters if we ever want to move these things. Even just a block is going to be just depressing. Just like absolutely horrible. Alright, you there. That's the receiver. We've obviously got our transmitter. And so we'll keep doing this little section here. This block just falls in. Transmitter, that goes there. Cool. So the system is now over there. I'm going to need, I believe, another crafter. Because we obviously want to be... we want... no. No, we don't want a crafter. No. No, I don't think we do. We're going to go for an exporter. And we're going to go the detector route with this guy as well, I think. I think that just makes a little bit more sense for what we want to do. Exporter is going to export water buckets. Obviously, we've got 100 maintained. So it'll be able to do this arguably infinitely. We're going to have the importer. He's obviously going to bring back the ice and the buckets. And then, obviously, we'll just have the detector to detect whenever we have whatever it is that we want. Which is obviously a complete other question. So, do I still have my cables? I do. Not many, but they do exist. Boom, boom. No. Alright, what we'll do here is we're going to have an importer at the bottom. He's going to pull out ice. So there's going to be whitelist ice and buckets. Preferably the empty variant. Cool. And then we're going to have an exporter, and he is going to be placing in water buckets. He is going to only work without a redstone signal. And we will then have a detector on top. And this guy will be set to monitor our ice. And then we want... how many do we want? What are we thinking? Arguably, we want this guy to actually detect dry ice. Oddly enough. So I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to say, hey, actually, dry ice. Okay? You're going to detect dry ice. And I would like you to stop when we have 64. That's your goal. Emit signal when above the amount. There he is. There he goes. 64 dry ice. Cool. Oh, whoo-wee. Whew. I might want to put a little regulator upgrade in that guy, because that's trouble. Alright, let's go ahead and search regulator and snap one of these guys up. Because there's nowhere for the ice to currently go. And believe it or not, that is a problem. Alright, a regulator upgrade means that only a little bit will go in here at once, which means I can go ahead and do that. And this guy's back in action, working again. Cool. I will say as well, the rate at which this guy is freezing stuff, not fast at all, right? Like, it happens, but it's, you know, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. This guy will also need infinite coal to be delivered. So I'm going to need to do that somehow. What else do we need? What else don't we need? I think it's fine though, even still, because although it's not going to be a crazy amount of ice that we're getting, it is some, and we can push that quite far. For example, do we have packed ice automated? We do not. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to automate packed ice, courtesy of a washer. So over here, we do have a washer, this guy here. He's currently doing what? Sand. And I've got him set up to turn off when we've got enough clay. I actually want to do another exporter on this guy for, obviously, whatever it was we were just talking about. The packed ice. So the packed ice, you can actually, wash ice to get packed ice. So if I go exporter, this will be... this is going to get messy. Once again, it's going to get a little bit messy, but I think we can pull it off. So exporter, we're going to get detector. Grab one of those guys as well. And that should be fine. Then we'll just have to, drag all the things into position. So the exporter should go there. And it does connect. It looks goofy, but it does work. That guy goes there. This guy's going to be Mr. Packed Ice. Mr. Packed Ice? Is he even? Yeah. No. And I'll tell you why no. Maybe. No. 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 Yeah, we're gonna have to change this. I'd still like ice to be available for different situations that call for it. I can't think of any that do at the moment, but I probably want that as an option. Meaning, we need to set this guy to be ice that he's making. So we'll do that. We'll set it to be just normal ice. So we don't have ice. We'll set it to be normal ice, and I'll say when you have 128. Just like a nice 2 stacks. 128 ice, you're good to go. So if you have above that, turn off. Cool. So he'll take care of that. Wonderful. Great guy. Love your work. This guy over here, he will be creating packed ice. So I would like him to turn off packed ice when he has... We don't need that much, to be honest. I'm just going to say when you have 32. Nice amount. Once again, if we need more, we'll go there. Emit signal when above the amount. So if he gets like 32 or above, he'll turn off. It doesn't have to be exact. Cool. And then obviously the exporter, we want to set the same thing as before. So it is going to only work without redstone signal. And it will be placing ice onto this guy. That you'll see in a second. But we also need to tell him, hey, whoa. Do not take out the ice. So the ice should get placed there. And it should not get taken out. That is, of course, assuming that this little connector there actually connects the guy. And I'll tell you what, I don't think it does. So instead, we're going to want this cable to go there. I'm very surprised. Only work without redstone. Oh, but that guy, I think, applies redstone to the side. Ah, pesky little guy. That's what's happening, isn't it? Ooh. Hear me out. What if we grab a cover? Can I place the cover? What are we thinking? Oh, I think we might be able to. Oh, how do I do it? Oh, how do I do it? Oh, I don't know how to do it. Boom. Boom. Yeah. I think I need to pick this guy up. What's that? Clay 200? Alrighty. I'll pick you up, Clay 200. cover's going to go there. Detector goes back. I think he's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I think he's fine. This just in. I believe he is fine. 200. When above the amount, emit the signal. That guy, he's got a stack of sand, but give him a second. He'll sort this one out. It still might travel redstone through there, I'm not sure. But it's not physically connected, so we'll see. Let's see. The sand shouldn't take that long. We'll sit here and wait, okay? Everyone, buckle in. Get snug, get comfy. Just wait patiently. It'll happen. And it's only worth it if you wait. I don't want you tapping right on the keyboard. I'd probably tap right on the keyboard. Do it. Tap right on the keyboard. Skip ahead. Only 10 seconds. Alright, it's done. Oh, I set it to creative mode. How did I do that? What have I done? Oh, I think I pressed F3 and F4. Guys, please. Please, I swear I didn't cheat in an extra lever. Please. I swear. I will tell you what, hey, the beauty of recording all this stuff is that, like, dude, if I manage to cheat something in, when? Go on, when? What? When? I mine a block and I, like, sneakily give myself two cobble instead of one. Alright, this guy's still not working. I think he's receiving that redstone. That's a problem. So we are going to have to relocate this guy. We can go underneath. That's probably what we're going to have to do here. And that should be fine. So we'll put an exporter there. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. This guy should be fine. He ignores redstone. So we can actually go ahead and place the detector here. And that should still work. It looks, once again, looks a little goofy, but it should be fine. This guy here, work without redstone, and you're going to be placing in just normal, good old-fashioned ice, I believe. That's your job. He's already doing that. Brilliant. Love your work. Great guy. Packed ice back on the table. 3, 2. Type slowly in this thing. It doesn't like text going in like crazy, or at least it doesn't for me. And so that should now work. Cool. To follow that up, if we wanted to, we could go ahead and grab a stack upgrade to chuck in there. I don't know how easy that is to grab. And I don't know if it'll work particularly well. I don't even think it's needed, but we can do it. It is an option on the table. So we grab this guy, right click this guy and chuck that on there. And then maybe we'll go from having 1 ice on here, converting into packed ice, 2, you ready? Buckle in. Once again, to 46 ice. There you go. It'll all process at once. Beautiful. Okay, so we have ice into packed ice, or we have water into buckets, into ice, into packed ice, into the sun. All we need now is packed ice into blue ice. Easy enough, right? I don't know. I think our only option realistically is to craft it together, which kind of sucks, I'll be honest. I'll just say it straight out. It's not going to be good. There is the allure of this. That's obviously a pretty good ratio. 4 to 1 instead of 9 to 1. Whew. There's also this block heat properties, heat pipe. Right? We can cool stuff at temperatures. What do I need? That's cryofuel. That's air. Vapor of levity. Oh, vapor of levity. It's not air. Where did I read air? How did I read air? I read air somewhere. Interesting. I saw air again. Oh, there it is. There's air there and there's steam next to it. How'd they pull that one off? What a weird little situation. Oh, what's this? Dry ice can burn into blue ice. Steam can cool into blue ice. Thermal resistance controls how fast these. Okay. I mean, there's a way to do this, right? We can do this. All I need to do is cool it down. That's all I need to do. Okay. Yeah. I've got some ideas. we're pretty much at the home run part, right? We can add the crafting recipe for packed ice into blue ice. That's done. Blue ice automated. We can put the blue ice recipe into dry ice. That's literally 2 blue ice equals dry ice. Done. Completely done. Whole episode's finished. But I want to squeeze every second out of this because we might be able to make it better. Let's grab some packed ice. We've got some work to do. So, first attempt is, what if I place it in here? Huh? Nothing. Okay. All right. You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Packed Ice. Okay. The next thing I would like to do is I want to grab that heat pipe. I want to make some of these. They're going to cost blocks of compressed iron, so we're going to grab 3 of those. That's for 6. We then want thermal lagging, a thin layer of insulating material which can be applied to the surface of heat using machines to prevent heat loss to air. Does not block interaction with the block behind it unless you are holding any wrench, any pickaxe, or are sneaking. This sounds pretty good. It costs wool and glass. We have the perfect amount. Just for reference, by the way, we do have infinite wool over here that we hooked up. Pretty good. I might actually take that out and chuck that in there so that we've got it for next time. Whenever something happens perfectly, like you have the perfect amount of items for something, I always feel the need to justify it. You know what I mean? Be like, hey guys, I swear. I swear, like, I promise you I didn't cheat in 3 white wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 dark grey wool. Guys, I promise. What am I doing? Oh yeah, so thermal lagging. I could place this on these, and it would make them more efficient, I guess. And that would be pretty good. Obviously, I don't want them on the heat. I want the heat to be sent out. But the ice we could, store. I, however, want a heat pipe. 6 of them. What if we get a ridiculous amount of heat sinks? Do we think this works? I'd love if it did. I will be honest, though. I am doubtful. If I pick this guy up, because he's still got pressure. This guy's still cooking. And I place this guy here. And we just sort of do something like this. And I place these on here with this on here. Is this like insane cooling going on now? What are we at? -227. This guy. The west temperature, not even that hot. Not even that hot. Whereas this side is, pretty cool. And so, I might actually, I'm going to make more of that heat lagging, right? Whatever that stuff is. Thermal lagging. I'm going to place that onto our guys here, I think. So, for example, yeah, I'm going to place this stuff here. And that should hopefully make this guy just that little bit more insulated. Sure. Can I place it on this as well? I can. Interesting. Okay. And then I'm going to place a heat pipe here. Okay, I guess I can't do that. All right, well. Okay. Heat pipe there. So this guy is also really, really cold. Cool. He took some of it. He's just distributed it. That's fine. What happens now if I place packed ice? Does this packed ice somehow convert into blue ice? I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out. Because the thing that baffles me is this guy here, block heat properties. Packed ice, cooled, blue ice. Temperature is -30. Thermal resistance controls how fast heat is able to move into or out of the block. Higher values mean slower heat gain or loss. Okay. Cool. Heat capacity is the amount of heat which can be gained or lost by the block before it transforms into another block. This has the heat capacity of 7,500. So that is how much heat this thing has to lose until it turns into blue ice. Is that my understanding? So are you telling me that this is the guy that I want to surround in the heat pipes or something? What am I doing with this guy? Okay. Interesting. I might actually look it up. I'll see if someone else has done it. I wanted to try it out myself, but I'm kind of stumped at this point. Pneumatic craft. What do they call it? Heat transfer blue ice. Surely someone's pulled this one up. I'll be honest, I kind of feel like we want to place this guy next to, like directly next to the vortex tube. The thing is, I don't know if I want to pick this guy up. I don't know if that's something that we want to happen, but I mean, I guess I can do it. Also, what's going on? Like, why has this guy stopped? He should still be receiving, buckets of water. We've got buckets. We just don't have buckets of water. Let's just go check. Maybe it's not loaded or something. What's happening over here? Crafter, depot, water. No bucket. Okay. I mean, it's fine. It's not a problem that happened. It's just a bit odd. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah, let me continue reading. Oh, actually, no, I was going to place it next to it, right? Okay. Absorb, when too much heat is removed, absorbed by a refinery. Apparently a refinery will absorb heat. So is that what I want? I want something to take the heat out. Sort of like these heat sinks. But if I attach this guy here, I don't think these guys, like, pull enough out of it. Okay. Yeah, I will try this, though. I'm going to pick up this guy here. Somehow. Alright, packed ice is in front of the vortex tube. Vortex tube, of course, outputting 173 degrees. Interesting. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I think this is what we sort of want. Okay. I know I just broke that, but small price to pay. Alright. I have something I'm going to try. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. So I think this is adding ice. or yeah, what a weird way to describe this. This is a horrible way to describe this, but you're going to have to pretend that this makes sense. I feel like this is making this block cooler, as opposed to taking the heat out of that block. Even though I think that's what we're doing. Like, that's what the heat sinks are doing, right? I don't know. I feel like that should be just cold enough. You know what I mean? To transfer my packed ice. Even literally just having it be either here or even next to this guy. Like, surely that does it. I mean, it's connected to the guy. Do the thing. So what I'll try instead, we'll leave that guy there. Maybe he will have a change of heart. But we can actually make these heat sinks more effective. Once again, apparently. Using an air gate. Okay, that doesn't exist. Interesting. What? What was I looking at then? What is this thing that what is this description that's been shown to me? Okay. What? Oh, air grate. I thought it was an air gate. No, that makes sense. Okay. So we apparently want these guys. I don't know how they work. This module will repel or attract any entity within range dependent on whether pressure is positive or negative, respectively, and will attempt to insert items into any adjacent inventory. It can also be used to cool heat sinks. Interesting. Okay. So that's the setup. All right. All right. I mean, let's see how this works, because I do not know. So we want pressure tubes. So, like, I don't know do they need pressure? Like, is that they have to have pressure as well as doing all this other crazy stuff they're doing? Because, like, sure, but also, like, geez, you know. Let's pick that stuff up so that we, you know, got some room to work with here, so we can actually see stuff. So I'm gonna place these here, I guess. And I'm going to, yeah, it's kind of an awkward spot. I kind of just need to move this guy back one. So I'm just going to break that. Pretend that everything's fine. And we're going to go ahead and place him here with a tube there. Cool. And you can have that again. Cool. Enjoy yourself. So we'll have our tubes like this. With that on the front. Okay, well that didn't work. Okay. Alright, that's not the right thing. That's why that didn't work. Brilliant. We're going to have that there. There we go. So 2 air grates, and they are idle. And so then I'm also going to place 2 heat sinks here and here, And that's apparently going to do a pretty decent job. So I think the heat sinks previously, they were just at like room temperature, right? Like if I would have just slapped them there. Yeah. And so this is meant to do a decent job at changing that somehow. I don't know if that comes with time or what. That's still packed ice. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure. It says it's currently repelling. Oh, yeah, so it's blowing air at the heatsink. Is that the thought process there? Interesting. So, what do we have? We've got a decent amount more of some of this stuff. For example, we can definitely do another one right here, if I'm quick enough. So that's another one that's on the list. That should be good. We may just need more pressure, to be honest. I may just need to, like, make a couple more of those. But once it, like, we can do that. That can happen. Okay. Interesting, because I can do this, and then that's not a problem. And then we can make 3 more and place them on top. We can also obviously also do some of that with some heat sinks on it. Obviously, as well, we've got plenty of heat sinks to where I can just cover every side just for the sake of, you know, letting this machine do its thing. I don't think that needs to be there. Can I pick that up? I never can tell if that actually worked or not. Heatsink there. I swear that worked. Yeah. Heatsink there. Cool. So what are we looking at? Still... Alright, they're back at 26. But is that just because we don't have pressure? Like, when I stand here, are we just losing all of the pressure? Is that what's happening? I think a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to catch up mentally. Yeah. Cooling. Gotcha. Oh, hold on. The air gate can do a lot bigger range than I thought it could. So it can do one of these guys. Is able to do a 3x3x3, apparently. I don't know if there's... Oh, yeah, cool. So you can actually visualize that. So we can see if there's one within this range, it's being applied by that heat cooler. So, for example, I can pick this stuff up. We don't need it. I can pick this stuff up as well. We don't need it. I could arguably just have that guy there. So if I pick that up, this is the only one we have at the moment, and it is able to do that radius of heat sinks. Any heat sink within this radius is getting the effect, I believe, which is pretty cool. So I can chuck these here, I guess. Make sure every side's touched. And that should be getting the bonus. Once again, allegedly. Okay. And see, I think we just need more pressure. So we'll give that a shot because we can afford it. We can probably afford to get, you know, 2 of these guys extra. Grab some coal. We've got the safety tube modules. We're going to pretend that that's going to somehow keep this guy up and running just perfectly fine. So we'll chuck that guy there. I'll go give him another tube. I know I didn't have to do what we just did, but we'll pretend that we did. Okay. This is kind of just experiment mode at this point. Because I looked it up and I couldn't find a video showing off how to do this. So if we can figure it out, it'd be at least something. Whether it's a good idea or not, we'd be able to see. Now, already, let me just say, this does not seem like it was a good idea. I feel like the value that we have gotten from this, like it's gotten worse since we attempted with these air grates, sorry. I keep saying the wrong thing, my bad. But we're gonna try. I think this guy, as he gets more pressure, he obviously does more. So maybe that's just it as well. We just need to get some more pressure flowing. I do actually, hold on. Do we still, maybe we don't have it. What was the keybind? Does anyone remember? Oh god. Yeah, I was gonna get that wand, but that doesn't exist. You know that staff that we had? Yeah, this guy. Once again, we still need to make a new one of these, but for this guy, for example, you know, he's getting there. I think if I just charge this guy up and just go, you ready? Poof. Yeah, look at the top. He's now going just a little bit faster. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And he's going to carry the rest of them. They all sort of like work in tandem a little bit. Like they're obviously trying to jam air into the same spot, going at the same rate for the most part. And so that should be doing a decent amount. That guy... I mean, like, what is this? So the way they said, by the way, was with a refinery. The refinery from Pneumaticraft allegedly sucks in heat. Or, yeah, he sucks in energy. The more heat you apply, the faster it runs. So this guy will absorb it. Stores the output fluids. Okay, so can I just craft this guy and maybe we'll add it to the system? Oh, wow, we are... The range of this guy is getting to be a little bit ridiculous to where if you're not, like, covered by something, you get pushed away. That's pretty cool. Anyhow, we'll check back there in a second. We are apparently going to try to make a refinery now to process oil that we do not have. Well, I guess that's not why we're getting it, but, you know, you get the idea. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. Okay. Refinery controller, and then I think you stack these on top. Stores the output fluids produced. And from memory, there's like 4 of these different things that you make, so that's a pretty nice amount that we just got. So, once again, I'm going to slap this guy here. And does that attach? No. Okay. That's a start. Ah! Okay. What if I place... Was that it just getting flown away? Okay, huh. Okay. Does this guy not... He doesn't take pressure at all. He's all just temperature. He's purely temperature based. Okay. What does that mean? Hold on. What does that mean? Does that mean I want... Also, the temperature's getting pretty cold now, which is pretty cool. And it should get a lot colder. Right? Apparently it is still worth it chucking on like another one. So, I'm just going to attempt that real quick. So we got 2 on there now. Is that going to... Are we going to notice a difference? I feel like it's not working. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not really doing what I want it to. Yeah, okay. Whatever. So the refinery. You're telling me if I slap this guy here, he's going to absorb the ice? And then if I put fuel in here... What do I want to do here? Do I want to put heat in this? And so then he'll be taking the heat and then cooling that guy down? That doesn't make sense. Because that will be cooling him down. As you can see, that's cooling him down. Huh? Where am I getting my intel from, man? What am I doing? Like it says here, for example, I feel like I've done nothing for too long here. For example, lava transforms to obsidian when too much heat is removed. Example, absorbed by a refinery. What? Absorbed by a refinery. The refinery states... Oh no, it's just mentioning heat. Temperature. A refinery is used to process oils. Cool. The more heat you apply to the refinery, the faster it runs. Well, then what the hell am I doing? What's this guy doing then? I feel like a lunatic. This makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay. So the concept is that if you put a thing hotter than room temperature, oh my god, like lava, for example, he'll absorb the heat from that and turn it to obsidian. So I need something colder than blue ice to absorb the heat from packed ice. So in other words, I would need this guy here that's colder than blue ice to absorb the heat from packed ice to quote unquote cool down. Right? Huh? Is that not... That makes sense, right? Totally? Yeah? Okay. So, what's the temperature of blue ice? The temperature of blue ice is negative 268, right? Oh, no, it doesn't necessarily say. What? This one here baffles me beyond anything I've ever looked at in my life. What is this, huh? Packed ice heats into ice. We know. Yep. Blue ice. Blue ice. The temperature of packed ice is that. That's my guess. And I just need a boop. Boop. But we can't just boop. Unless we had dry ice, we could boop. But that's the wrong way. We don't want that. The temperature of dry ice is negative 100. We're past there. We should be there. That should be doable. I think the problem is the heat capacity, right? This is the problem. I mean, it's kind of just mission fail. I'll tell you what. We still did it. That thing didn't work. Mission failed there, but I mean, I can at least finish literally the whole thing, right? As we said before. So there'll be a happy ending at least. We'll be able to sleep at night. It's a fairy tale ending. All is good on Hot Dog Stand. Blue ice, and then dry ice. Do I even have... I may even already just have it automated. Nope, I don't. I lied. But we'll grab both of those. Crafting recipe, and... Where did I put it? I think it's all the way over here. Cool. I mean, that stuff's automated. I'm just trying to think. I am trying to think. So if I put that stuff away and we search dry ice, I should be able to order a dry ice. Boom. We currently have 3. Boom. We have 4. Beautiful. Automatable. I can take this stuff out if we would like. We do have a reactor over here. The fact that it's automatable means that I'm happy to use it. If you recall last time that we messed with this guy, in fact, I don't know if it's worth showing it off now or later. I guess we'll show it off now. If we chuck in a full stack of fuel that he fills up entirely, this guy will heat up. I don't remember what temperature he'll heat up to. I don't think it was too much. I think it was in like the 300s. So I'll wait for that and we'll see if that's true. Alright, it is at 500 degrees Celsius and we are currently burning at a rate of 0.5145 millibuckets per tick. So half a millibucket. Cool. I'm now going to put in some dry ice. This guy will begin to cool. And as it cools, the usage of our uraninites, that's just how much fuel we're using, will drop. So it was at 0.5 millibuckets. There is 1,000 millibuckets in a uraninite, and this is per tick, right? So essentially, let me just do a little bit of math for you guys. The 0.5 times 20, because it's per tick, you'll use 10 millibuckets per second, okay? Which means... I think it's 100 seconds, so it's about like a minute per fuel. Does that make sense? I don't even think that's right. It could be right. I don't know. But as you can see, it starts dropping. What does it drop to, you may be wondering? Well, keep watching. It is already, what's that? 4 times faster? 5 times faster? And we're... What? Okay, well, he's full. That doesn't count. Hold on. Why is he full? What do we have? Is this guy... That guy's running. Put more into that. How do we... Hold on. Hold on. What's going on here? What is going on here? What are you doing? You're doing 8,000 per tick. How much am I making? You're making 2,000 per tick? Well, hello. Put more. What's going on here? Is it because you're pulling from you as well? Stop that. Pull from you. He doesn't care. He does not care. Okay. Alright. Understood. I don't agree with it, but it's happening. God, I wanted to wrap this episode up in a nice little bow. And here we are. I'm just trying to show this off. And of course, we're too good. We're making too much power that... But not even. Like, the machine's just not running. Come on, man. Alright, we'll put this guy in. He's now transferring 32,000 per tick. Move, please. He does not care. He could not care less. Okay, maybe it's not chunk loaded or something. I swear it is, but we'll jump over here and pretend that... What's happening? Mate, what are you doing? Not... Yeah, we know. We know, mate. You're force loaded? Cool. What are you doing? What? Come on, man. You're making a mockery out of me. Yeah, it's not even charging. He's a liar. Why aren't you... What have I done? Huh? I don't think I did anything. What have we done here? Redstone ignored. All of them are input output. He's set on auto mode. Okay. Does this not count as an output? I'm pretty sure it should. No doubt in my mind, to be honest. I mean, clearly there is. I'm trying it as opposed to doing something else. Alright, it's outputting now. Sure, that makes sense. Regardless, cool. It's outputting. So we can see now the rate at which stuff was happening. So he should be back on. The temperature is still lowering. And it will lower to 29 degrees Celsius. Currently generating 2.4 thousand energy per tick. And if we hover over this guy, we are, instead of using 0.5 millibuckets, we're using 0.03 millibuckets, essentially. So what was the math we said? It was like 10 millibuckets a second. So that would be times 100. That would be 1,000. So yeah, 100 seconds. So that's a minute and a half, pretty much. So now, 0.03 times 20. So you're using, instead of 10, you're using 0.6 millibuckets a second. And so if you wanted to do that, that would be what, 1,000 divided by 0.6? Divided by 60. 27 minutes instead of your 1 minute. So pretty good. And you get the same power generation, I believe. And this thing lasts forever. It lasts so long. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think we're good. Cool. So I wanted to justify that real quick. Yeah. Now, once again, there's definitely a way to do it. I'm sure there is. I even saw somebody suggesting just chucking a vortex tube on that guy. Like, I know that's what we've done, but I'm guessing somehow a different way. I don't really know, once again, what you would exactly do. But I'm sure there's something. Let me pick up all of those. Let me pick up all of those. I don't know. I don't know. Because the right side is the heat. Meaning I'm pretty sure that would melt. That's my understanding, right? Or would it not? You know what? I'll tell you what. We've got plenty of the stuff. Let's just chuck one down there, right? Oh. Oh, I've got stuff in here, don't I? That makes sense why half of them were disappearing. So if I chuck that guy there, what happens? Does he turn into water? I don't actually know. The west side is heating up. It's doing it. I don't know, man. Alright, well anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. That was the purpose of the episode. We wanted to get ourselves ice pretty much automated. And I believe the whole process is automated from start to finish. Some of it will be slower than others. Some of it stopped working, oddly enough. Like, I don't really know what the deal is with water at the moment. Our requester stopped requesting. As you can see, the system still works. So I'm not too sure. You know what it could be? I think I took a few buckets out. It's possible that I broke the system. Yeah, we've got a few recipes here that never got fulfilled. So if I just turn those off, they'll reorder those, and I think that'll sort our problem. I think that's all that happened there. So that should be good. That should be taken care of. This guy, I'm sure I broke that as well. Machine doesn't accept... Yeah, okay, he's fine. Sweet. Nice. All is good. All is good. Yeah. I like how this one genuinely looks colder somehow. I think it's just the lighting, but I don't know. This one's looking a little bit more blue. Alright, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying the series. Hopefully you still are enjoying what I'm putting out. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Thank you, of course, to our donators and our channel members. Thank you, guys. Thank you to our Tier 3 channel members, Melizzy, Andre, and Final Phoenix 13. And I'll just go and double check. See if I'm right about all that. And thank you as well to those of you using the Bisect code to host servers for, I guess, you and your friends or whatever it may be. Yeah, because I see some money from that because obviously there's like a partnership. You guys save some money on it. And I actually get a decent amount from that as well. Not like a crazy amount, but enough that it's noticeable, I guess. So thank you for doing that. Obviously, only if you're planning on using a server. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't really know why you do that, but I figured I'd say thanks. So thank you guys. And I believe that is pretty much it. We can go and check to see if there's some Robert Law. Just 1 second. Let's check the memberships. Where are we? Nope, I believe we're up to date. So yeah, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully you guys are having fun. We are up to date. It's like a... Oh my god! The physics mod strikes. Oh my god, look at them go. Oh wow, and look at... A true test of the physics mod. You ready? I'll help these ones out a little bit. That's... Oh my god. Once again, you probably wouldn't want to do this all day, like in your day-to-day playing this, but I mean, that's pretty fun. What? Oh, they bugged out a little bit when I got too far. Actually, I think that's my fault. I definitely changed like a setting to do that, but I love that they interact with each other. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys... hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's just have a quick look. Pack dice. Alright. Oh god, yeah, okay. That side's getting very hot. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I might even put this back here with the pack dice. For some reason, that feels like it'll do something more than just placing it there. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.